so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond Gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
You may be arrested and/or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Hi folks, Steve Shank and Babs Rossberg here for eFoods Direct.
In August, we're celebrating our 30-year anniversary in the long-term food supply industry.
To celebrate, the biggest sale ever, our most popular premier one-year food supply for 30% off.
That's 30% off of our Freedom Food Supply. You save $536 on each one-year supply. That's lower than 1981 prices.
If you ever thought about getting a year's supply of food, now is the time.
This whole one-year supply is a balanced selection of foods, and it all fits in the space of a washing machine.
You know you need your own food.
But time is running out. This 30% off sale for the best food on the planet ends Friday, August 26th.
Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. This sale ends Friday, August 26th. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
When it all crashes down and you break your crown and you put your finger, but there's no one around. Just one thing, just to play the king. But the castle's crumbled and you're left with just a name. Where's your crown, King Nothing?
When you're crowned King Nothing, like Muammar Gaddafi. 7 years ago, he made public deals with George W. Bush and the West. He let the West in for investment, invested the country's money with the bankers. They have now publicly stolen more than $70 billion of the Libyan people's investment. They are going after the 144 tons of gold, just like the U.S. military on record went in with foreign contractors and robbed every one of the museums in Baghdad, and then no one knows where it all went. This is just outright, total industrialized looting. And our military's having their pension funds looted. It is being announced they're looking at cutting military retirements by 50%. Those that serve 20 or more years and have a contract with the government, they're going to cut what you're paid and devalue the rest of it via hyperinflation. What, did you think you could join the U.S. military and ship heroin out of Vietnam? Did you think you'd join the U.S. military and go down to Colombia and kill the FARC to consolidate the cocaine? What, you think you'd train Los Zetas, 10,000 plus over the last decade, and then send them down to Mexico to try to knock out the cartels, and that you would then ever get your pension fund too? Of course, the average military person didn't even get any of the drug money and isn't aware of it and is compartmentalized. But we have a lawless criminal government. Completely lawless, completely criminal, and they're now engaging in bolder and bolder activities. I'd say the type of corruption we saw under George Herbert Walker Bush, a 3.5 on the Richter scale. It was going on, but they were trying to keep it hidden. Under Bill Clinton, a 5 on the Richter scale. Under George W. Bush, a 7 on the Richter scale. Under Obama, it's a whopping 10. Remember, it grows exponentially on the Richter scale. I mean, now he's just, I don't need Congress for war. I don't need Congress for UN Agenda 21 carbon taxes. I'm going to deploy the military under the Rockefeller Foundation. That's in the news yesterday. in the Rural Council run by Homeland Security and the Pentagon in your town with a local office to help you with loans and things. Ooh, boy, we are going under Soviet control. You've really got to look at the Soviet model and realize this is it. We are going under a Sovietization system. You're like, but I thought it's big banks running it. The profits are private. The losses are public. It all goes on our back. They're all offshore, exempt from all their taxes, exempt from all their regulations. That's why you see all the big mega rich calling for higher taxes and telling the poor, get them rich people making over $125,000 individually, $250,000 collectively with a man and woman. Get them, they're the rich. And you see the hordes of people on welfare and the rest of it saying, my check isn't buying anything anymore. Okay, raise it. And they're like, good, we've got half the public on the gravy train. They're going to tear the middle class to pieces while we sit offshore. And when the vets get mad and the cops try to come to take their house for repossession and the vets fight back, we're going to call them Al-Qaeda. They've got it all figured out in their social engineering. I can't tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how many veterans I've talked to and that my family's talked to. My parents were in Wyoming and Montana for a week and a half visiting friends. They went on a road trip, and my dad got back. They didn't tell anybody that they were Alex Jones's parents. And every restaurant, every house they went to, every rancher they talked to, everybody they met on top of mountaintop hiking, young and old, Native American, white, didn't matter, said, we know the New World Order's here. We're just waiting. And my parents just said it was everywhere. It was just open everywhere you went, at gas stations, you name it, people basically saying, we're ready to rock. And that's why Chuck Baldwin moved up there. And he said it's just absolute, totally awake. I mean, I've been in Wyoming and Montana in the last 2 years, and I can't walk down the street. I mean, I can't walk down the street in Austin, Texas without folks pulling over and shaking my hand. But there, it's everyone, basically. I mean, Aaron and others who went with me were just blown away. We'd be walking down the street at night in little bitty towns, and people pop out of doorways. Alex Jones, I recognize your voice. We're going to defeat them. Come in the restaurant. I want to buy you a beer. I mean, it's just, so let me tell you, the globalists know who the terrorists are. It's real Americans who understand who the financial terrorists are. You are the terrorist, and they know they're the terrorist. They understand. Anybody who actually knows what America is really all about is a terrorist. You look at the government training manuals, returning veterans, gun owners, in the Fedders, Ron Paul supporters, Bob Barr supporters, Libertarian Party supporters, land rights activists. By the way, I was driving in, and I forgot to pull this up. He was reading the news article. The FDA is going after vitamin C now, and Ben Fuchs was reading the articles. Will you guys type in Food and Drug Administration moves to restrict or ban? He was reading two different articles. One article was restrict vitamin C. The other was ban vitamin C over the counter. And I know that's already starting in Europe under Codex Alimentarius. I've got articles here where they're arresting people all over the United States now, from D.C. To Washington State. Those are just the two articles today when you try to sell lemonade. They don't just fine you now if children come out and sell lemonade. They're actually fining and threatening to arrest Girl Scouts selling cookies now, or Girl Scout popcorn. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it is on. They're letting us know you live in a Soviet America where the book is thrown at average law-abiding citizens and criminals are above the law. It is so hardcore. It is so hardcore. In fact, later we'll pull this video up and play it. Children defy police in Washington, purchase lemonade in the capital city, and are arrested. It's incredible footage of them being threatened, the police acting like they're narcotics traffickers. And then meanwhile, it's well known. We had Serpico on, Frank Serpico, the legendary New York narcotics detective. And I said, around the time you got shot in the face and run out of there, I've read 75% of the detectives were later proven on the take. And he said, well, in my group, it was 100%. 100%. 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, the town I grew up in, Rockwall, I was not even a druggie. I was a jock, and I would go to parties. And when I was 12 years old, it started. Playing baseball down the street. One of my friends invites me over. His older brother's in high school. Cop shows up, in uniform, goes in the house, sells him drugs to distribute. And I'll never forget my buddy's big brother said, hey, when I was 13, a year later, I had a moped, and he said, I'll pay you $20 to deliver this marijuana to this house, and that house. And of course, I didn't do it. And he got mad at me and didn't trust me anymore. But the point is, that's how America operates. That's how America operates. And the cops would be having DARE programs and talking about drug testing at the school and drug dogs. And I would see cops that I knew were involved in drug dealing. And I would say, you're not going to search me. I don't use drugs like you do. And the cops would flip out, take me into the office, slam my head in the desk, and scream at me. They were so mad that I wouldn't love their evil and bow down to their drug dealing anymore. Okay? This is what America is, rotten as Hades itself. And if we don't admit this, we have no future. It's coming to a terminal head. Now, you may live in a town where the cops don't deal the drugs, but that's the exception, not the rule. All right, I'm going to shut up and go to your calls. It's just that in my gut, in my intellect, in my spirit, my discernment, whatever you want to call it, I am on the edge of my seat right now. I've told you in the last year that my spidey sense, we all have it, my sixth sense, my gut, has been absolutely on edge, like I'm at the edge of a cliff. And now it's intensifying every hour. They are preparing some type of World War III startup. The globalists are preparing massive terror attacks in America and Europe, and it is going to be hellish. It is going to be absolutely horrible, and we're going to have to watch the murderers, the social engineers who've done the attacks, grandstand as our saviors. And as the public gets scared during a depression and during a war, they think you're going to go along with their takeover of America. And it's time for every radio talk show host, every police officer, every pastor, every college professor, every school teacher, every doctor, every lawyer, every auto mechanic, every farmer, every rancher, every factory worker, every lawn person. I don't care what you do. Every retail clerk. To count the cost, to face history, to realize that while we've been tuned into a false reality of football and celebrity and all the rest of it that people are such experts on, that reality's been going on all around you. While you're busy out in the middle of a field watching a television, and you think that television's the only thing in the world, you didn't hear the wolves howling. Now the wolves are all around you in the dark. And you can look out from the glow of the TV in the middle of this field we're in collectively and see their eyes and hear their growling. And the television's telling you, those are friends. Lay down. Show them your neck. They want to lick it. And the TV says, lay down. The wolves are here to help. And many Americans are going, okay. All right, here's my neck. And we watch as Americans are grabbed by the wolves and drug out into the night. Good people have to get together around a code of ethics and ideas and defend those, or civilization always falls. One of the globalists' biggest problems to handle is how do they balance the countries they're looting, and how do they keep safe havens for themselves to move to after they've totally destroyed societies. They want to play the military-industrial complex foot soldiers, the police, the military, the private contractors, off against the American people. But the 30 pieces of silver you're being given to carry out the destruction of America the conversion of America to a third world dictatorship of the plutocrats, you're destroying your own nest, your own future, your children's future. You are selling your birthright for nothing. For nothing, for a pittance. I'm going to go to Dana, Lennon, Carl, Sean, and others. But I just want to